What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. Just give us a minute here and we'll get going. Just got to set up two last things. Hope you guys are ready to talk about the new fusion. Seems kind of interesting, but I think this might be a complete pass for me. I'll have to see what the other guys say. And want to talk about the monetization behind Raid and how I think it needs to be reeled back in, and we need to get some safeguards in for a lot of people that do not have any sort of discipline. So give us a little bit, get ready, get your cup of tea, get your coffee, get your pop if that's what you drink, and get ready. Hey, Timberwolf, thank you very much for the sub, brother. I appreciate it. 13 months. Damn, that is a legend right there, boys and girls. All right, here we go. Let's get ready.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. This is episode number 114. Man, I can't believe it that the year is coming up to an end. We're in November. We've only got a few more episodes left before the end of the year, so we're going to try to get in as much as we possibly can. And we're going to start the 2026 year in a banger. We got a lot of things to talk about today. I want to talk about the new fusion that is coming in. Seems pretty interesting. I feel like he's okay for mid-game accounts. I'm at the point where I'm like, I think I'm going to skip because I'm going to start gaining some resources back for the next milking event that Plarium is deciding to do. And speaking about milking events, we got to talk about the predatory practices of the shards of the monetization that are going on, because one of the things that I've been hearing lately and really concerns me is that people are not able to self-restrict. And I feel at this point, there should be something with a lot of these games built in. Now, some people will say that there is some built in and, you know, everybody should express more willpower, but that isn't always a something that can be done. Addictions are a problem. That said, before we get too far in, let's go ahead and introduce all of my co-hosts for today's podcast. In the top red box, giving us a free-to-play content creator perspective is Mr. Final Campachi. Ken, what is going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good, man. Sunday, running day, 10K. I still a little bit scared more than 10K on my training, so I'm taking a little bit slow. My leg is getting better too. I took a 1 week break and it feels good. So, and I also I rest streaming after running with my bike. So it's electric bike. It's just bicycle, like not motors, F2P. So no license. Anyway, we also
gas. It uses electric from everything that I pedal.
Yeah, 21 kilometer I drive today too. Oh, bro, it was a nice stream. People like it. I also enjoy. So yeah, that's it, man. That was quite a long day. I was outside too. I just arrived home. Hopefully you guys doing good. I just tried to finish my dailies. Actually, didn't get even time to play the raid. So hopefully you guys doing good.
Wait. What kind of raid content creator, official raid content creator, doesn't have enough time to play raid?
Hey, it's Sunday.
Raid is life. No. I'm gonna have to talk to Banana Jam and Ace, and I think they might have a problem. Next up, all the way from California, giving us a top 100 live arena perspective, Mr. Gessel Gaming. Gessel, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Excited for this upcoming Tuesday, man. We get the season rolling out. I kind of feel like the 2 weeks in between the seasons is a bit kind of a bit of a dull in live arena. So excited for the live arena to get started. 2 days, let's get it going.
Let's go. Next up, all the way from Texas, telling us that that's where you got to go to get the best brisket. The dab master himself, Mr. Zero Brew Zero. What's going on, bro? How are you?
What's going on? I'm glad to be here as always. And what's all this live arena talk we're talking about? Who's got time for that? Not this guy. I gave up on live arena a long time ago. But I want to hear a report back of how many Ninja Turtles are making it in. So I want to hear a report back of what's going on. But doing good. Yeah, I'm very happy my Tigers pulled it through Friday night, not for trying to lose the game multiple times. So thank you to the multiple kickers at Louisville who missed extra point and 2 or 3 field goals for us to win by 1 point.
Multiple kickers? What?
Oh, yeah. By the end of the game, they were like, well, screw it. You go kick the ball. And he missed it too. So, yeah, it was fantastic. And Alabama lost. And I had something else I was going to say. What I did something good. I don't know what it is. If I remember, I will chime back in and interrupt like I always do. So you know how I'll be doing. But yes.
Like, I did something good. I just don't remember how good it was to even think about it. Listen, I get it.
Oh, well.
It happens when you get older, like me. You just forget half the things you want to talk about. Next up, our favorite late night streamer, Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. Chilling, watching some sports. UFC happened yesterday, so we watched that. As far as Raid, kind of a downtime in Raid, so I'm pretty excited to get stuff going. I'm excited for the fusion. I'm excited to get these new bosses coming into Raid pretty soon. So yeah, I know a lot of people. I do like the downtime. It is a little bit as needed, but I'm excited and ready for Raid to start picking it back up again.
Awesome, awesome. And last but not least, the guy who's replacing King Coco, who saved my rear end today, Mr. DeCursed One. DeCursed, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Welcome in. Happy Sunday to everybody. As far as the fusion goes, I am skipping this fusion just because I got to get my resources around. Plus, I know that over the past 6 years, the Christmas fusion has been a fantastic fusion, and I want to make sure I have all my resources stacked up for that. And as far as LA goes, I mean, it doesn't matter. Seasonal and regular seems the same to me. So
okay,
it's just better reports than seasonal.
Yes.
Who the hell is King Coco?
So, funny story here. I've been hanging out in Discord with King Copium and a couple of the other guys from the Copium Den. And the last couple of days, my kids have been in the car because I've been on vacation and stuff. And we hang around when I'm in there. They're in there talking. And so my daughter's like, who's that talking? I was like, King Copium. She's like, who? King Coco? I was like, oh my God, that's what I'm going to name him from now on. I'm done trying to name him Copium King. It's King Coco. So he dared me. He said I didn't have the balls to say it online on stream. So here I am, King Coco. So from now on, when you see him, don't call him King Copium, call him King Coco and tell him that my daughter says thank you. That's
Your sound is cutting.
My sound's cutting in and out. I think that's you. Your sound was cutting in a little out. That said, we got to talk about the fusion. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am kind of drained from resources, drained from energy, drained from everything. And usually I'm a gotta catch them all because in the end game, it's about the only way I can acquire new champions is through fusions. And we've got a new one coming up who I think for the faction itself is too much. I would have preferred, and I'm sure that both Gessel and Ken would back me up on here, where my first thing in content creator chat was, can we delete this guy and just give us a legendary reviver? Just, reskin any other reviver and put him in the faction, because that's what this faction really needs, or a solid nuker. But Plarium said, no thanks, we're not going to do that. We're still going to give you guys the bomber. So we've got a new fusion starting next week. He is a fragment fusion. I'm sure after everything, I feel like this fusion's probably going to be a little easier than some of the other ones we've had. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's go ahead. Let's break down the skill kit and let's see, can these guys convince me in having to do this fusion? So the A1 attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of decreasing the duration countdown of all bomb debuffs by 1 turn. The target also has a 30% chance of placing a stun debuff on the target for 1 turn. It gets a 4 books into it. We get more damage from it. Now I know that I believe it was the A3 or the A2 that had the damage buff. That's going to be fixed because apparently it doesn't even hit. So they're going to be fixing the wording on that. With the A2, we have a 75% chance of placing 2 bombs, places books up to 100% on each enemy that detonate after 2 turns, fills the turn meter by 25% for each enemy with a bomb debuff. And then the A3 attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of detonating cooldown of all bombs by 1 turn, also has a 75% chance of placing a block active skills debuff for 2 turns, We do get 4 books into it with a 3-turn cooldown. And then the passive, which seems a little interesting here, if you can play around with it, fills all allies' turn meter by 5% each time a bomb debuff detonates. Has a 20% chance of activating an instant turn on this champion whenever an ally or an enemy is killed by a bomb debuff. And then we also get a 30% in all battles for attack. All right, so let me start off with Ken, because Ken, when I said prior that this guy was doo-doo, said, I don't know, bro, I think you're wrong. So what you got from me, Ken?
I mean, I'm gonna skip him if you're asking that, but it's because I don't need him. I mean, okay, like I'm not saying he's bad champion, to be honest. Like, let's make it clear first of all. But I kind of like find myself at a point in the end game. Like, it's really hard. The Plarium going to release a DPS champion, legendary DPS champion, and I'm gonna be use that champion over my mythical collection in the arena.
Okay.
You know, like Bomber's still DPS champion eventually. I'm talking about like the progress champion Plarium give us, like Marius, Embrace, Carnage. It's really hard to place another champion over them, you know. So Plarium need to be a little bit more careful, because I kind of find myself fusions are kind of useless now for my account, because like same for you can call that like normal champion as well. You got the champion, you cannot use it. You need a blessing, power
Right.
creep. So, but beside that, in the hard faction war, if you guys need a control champion, which is have a block active skill, or if you guys stuck on the condition floor on the Ogre faction, which is the bomb condition, you need to kill the target under the bomb debuff. Actually, bomb explosion need to be killed. I personally don't need help on the faction war. I have a Gizmak, so it make it easier. And I finished that
Show
bomb
off.
mission, the champion you are showing right now in the screen, which is the War Mother. So for my account wise, I don't need it. That's why I'm gonna skip it. That's the reason. But I'm not saying like he's bad champion. If you are like mid game, early game, obviously can help you more. Again, faction war hard, definitely enough reason to go for it if you guys struggle, because faction war hard is extremely hard. So that's it. That's my thoughts about it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you already have War Mother in the faction. Chances are a lot of you have already been upset enough that you hold a War Mother. So if you're going for the trials for the faction wars, that's pretty much about the only time. Other than that, I feel like there's so many other bombers that are way, way better. Nishak being like probably the best one if you have one. That said, PJ, what do you got to say, man? What do you think?
I personally like him. Obviously, it's all account dependent, but if we just look at his kit, his A2 is a place, so he won't weak it. So you're guaranteed. I mean, you're not guaranteed, but you can't weak it the bombs, which is nice. You can resist, but most likely you're going to get that extra. It's not an extra turn, but it's almost like you get an extra turn, getting the 100% turn meter. If he's landing it on all 4 champions, if for arena, for PvE, if there's 5 champions, you're pretty much always going to be getting that extra turn.
Can I say something?
Yes.
His A3 skill can be weak attack too.
Oh, let me finish.
Oh.
Come on.
Not if you have a death dealer.
Yeah. The one thing that I don't like about him, like what Ken mentioned, is that his A3 it's a hit, so he can weak it, so he won't lower the detonation, so they can maybe cleanse or get multiple turns. But as far as PvE, I like him a lot, not just for the bomb one. And if you do it with War Mom, it's so hard. I've tried with War Mother, it's not easy. Like, you're gonna hate your life. Even you might need like 2 War Mothers. Even with War Mother, and like you can use Gall Kit, like it's still gonna suck.
Even plus for War Mother.
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's really, really tough.
Bomb damage very low, guys.
Yeah. Now, when I did the trial for the Organ Tribe, it was 2 War Mothers and Relentless sets, and it was not easy at all. Like, so hard, so RNG.
Yes. So I don't want people just out here being, oh yeah, you have War Mother, you can do it. It's like, oh yeah, it's not that simple. The other thing is like, what?
I was just gonna say that whole trial is bull, because they have to die, they have to die to the bomb, not under bomb debuffs. So that's the big problem with that one. But yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead,
and
sorry.
then I also think he'll be nice for stage 19, which is defeat 3 enemies while they're under 10 debuffs. He brings like 3 by himself. His
Mhm.
A1 is also really good too with the stun for hard faction wars. Like just control. Like yeah, we don't have a good reviver, but if they're stunned or locked out or dead, then you're not going to be dead. So like the ultimate defense is a good offense kind of, or offense is good defense. Like if they're dead, then you're fine. So if they're locked out, you should be good. Yeah, like if you have Nishak, Nishak's better, but Nishak was an old fusion. Nishak was a couple years ago, I feel like. So we can't just rely on everyone having Nishak, everyone having Commodus. So if you guys don't have good bomb champions, I feel like this guy is definitely solid. Could be used, I think, in Siege, like Classic, Live.
Mhm.
I think he could pair well with another bomb champion as well. You don't have to just use him by himself. I think he works well with a Nishak or with someone else. So yeah, I think he's pretty good.
I was gonna say I thought one of the login champions was a bomber, but it's actually Gerda Bogbrew, so never mind that. I was gonna say, well, I think we all really get one, but yeah, I get you. Guess so. Is this gonna be a guy that you think is going to make it into the top 100, or are you gonna use him if you get him?
Well, I am gonna go for him. I think I'm gonna try to take it. It's a fragment one. It's a fragment fusion.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna take it, and I'll probably either completely skip the shard pulls, and then just scoop up the 20 fragments at the end, or something to that weight. I'm gonna try to hang on to my resources for Christmas. I think that'll be better in terms of shards and stuff. But I am gonna get them at whatever capacity I get them. I'm gonna get them. I do see potential there if you are like locked in to going a bomb comp and say you got Commodus, you're going speed leads, right? And then you bring Commodus or Nishak, but I would say Commodus would probably be more likely. And then you have that option for Nishak or him as kind of like if you have like a bad opposition affinity wise. So that way I see him maybe working out. It's kind of hard to go full board bomb comps these days with relics and feral gear and everything else. So I don't necessarily think he's going to make a huge splash per se, but I think he could be good. And I think he might be maybe a little better than people are expecting. Um, he also could be a little worse than what I'm expecting. So I don't know. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna test them out, and pretty much that's the only scenario. I think if you're just going straight speed, he's got to go quickly, right? He's got to be built like my Commodus is like, he's built for HP, obviously, accuracy and speed. Like that's all you have to build. Bombers are kind of easy to build. Same thing with this guy. You obviously building the attack instead. But I don't know. I'm gonna get him and test him out. We'll see. I'm not excited. I'm not saying he's game changer, but he's interesting. I think he's interesting.
I just want to point out one other thing. I feel like the A3, the 3-turn block active skills for 2 turns is like really strong, just like on its own. Like that's not many champions have that.
And
True.
you made a great point about the buffs too. I think I am actually missing 1 star in Ogun Tribe, and it might be that one trial. So I think that alone would be worth getting them for me, man. I hate that stupid faction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a great point.
That one actually isn't too bad if you have Stork and then you make sure that Shrank goes before him, because that will give you 4 poisons just from Stork as long as the HP burns
I
out.
haven't pulled it. I haven't pulled him from the fragments yet.
Well,
Maybe I gotta
you
pull
know.
him from the fragments.
Something to think about.
I save. I save those up for champ chase, man. You gotta save those up.
What are you, F2P?
I know, right?
No,
I mean,
but like if you're trying to snipe, like you gotta have like a big holster to snipe, and I got 6 or 7 of those loaded, bro. That's 4,000 points in 10 seconds. Like that's how you snipe.
If you're gonna snipe, you just might as well just call MX or Chase or something and be like, hey, listen, I need a little bit of a boost this month. I got to win Shredder.
Speaking of the snipe, you guys see the champion chase bots, by the way?
Oh yeah, I got a
Kind
couple of
of.
screenshots. We're gonna
Oh, we are going to talk about that?
we're
Okay,
gonna
okay.
talk about that. Yeah, I was like,
I don't know what that
holy
is, so let's
smokes.
I
talk
have no
about it.
idea.
All right, so yeah, I hear the Hi Mother mod frags. I'm looking at a lot of people in chat saying, I'm gonna go for what I can, not use my shards, and then I'm curious, do they still sell the frags at the end for like $20 for 5 or whatever it is?
You have to get over.
Um,
You have to have 60.
Okay, so they still sell them
And
if you
it's
have. So I guess maybe
$2 a fragment. It's $2
$2 a
a fragment.
fragment.
So if you need 5, it's $10.
So that actually might not be a bad idea if you're.
It's cheaper than buying the shards and getting garbage.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. Is maybe I might just.
That's
do
how
that.
I've been
Maybe I might
doing
just
it.
go for the champ on energy wise, and then just not use any shards because I think that's probably the best one. So it's $50 for 50 fragments if you have about 50 fragments. Okay, so as long as I got 50,
Oh, it's 50. Okay.
I should be okay. So maybe that might be my my way out of not doing any more shard events for the next couple of months. Let's go to the curse. The curse. What do you think, man? Is this guy gonna be your nuker, your account changer?
I mean, like I said, I'm not personally going for him because I'm saving my resources for the Christmas event. But as far as anybody that does go for him, if you're mid game account, early, late game, maybe, like PJ said, it's account dependent on where, what champions you have and where your account's at. If you wasn't here for, Gishak fucking fusion, then,
Mhm.
you probably need this guy if you don't have good bombers. Me personally, I have, Hansel and Gretel, and they go together. So for the bombing. So, but as far as the Ogre and Tribes goes, I wish I could do the fusion for him, but I don't have the resources at this time.
Okay. All right. And let's go to Zero Brew. Zero, are you gonna go for this guy? Or are you gonna skip him?
Yeah, so I think I am going to go for him. All y'all made solid points, and that's what I would say. Like, this is not going to be your better bomber champion. Nishak is 1,000 times better than this dude. Just a couple points, and y'all already made them, but like the stage 11 piece and stuff like that. The one thing that intrigues me about him is his interactions with other bombers. So I think it would be kind of cool to see, this is like one of those things. It's like, you look at it like a Blizzard or something like that, and you're like, I'm kind of on the fence for this guy. I don't know where he's gonna help me. And then turns out he can solo Sand Devils with 4 food champions and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like this dude might have some sort of niche thing like that. And I get it. Everybody is sucked drier than a mummy and a 1,000-year-old mummy in the Egyptian desert from all the resources dealing with the turtles, right? So I get that, and this would probably be a good one if you are in that boat to recoup your resources. I would say definitely go for that. But I also look at this dude's kit compared to like a Nishak, and I say, in like 6 or 7 months, is this one of those candidates that they maybe buff down the road to bring him up to speed? Because I don't think he's as powerful as the other bombers in the game. So I look at that too. But that, again, that's just my weird take on it. Try to catch them all type mentality. And I was hopeful to skip, but I need help with ignorance. Straight up need the help. And I have freaking Nishak. I got 2 of them.
You have Gizmak.
Not Nishak. What's his name?
Gizmak.
Gizmak. I have 2 Gizmaks.
Yeah.
I haven't built a second Gizmak, but even with my 1 Gizmak, I need help with ignorance. Like, that's one of my worst factions. So I'm like, I'll take anything with this dude.
Damn. Let's give a big shout out here to Mr. Bronco, who's watching us over on YouTube. Guys, if you're not following Bronco, make sure you go, giving us a lot of endgame strategies for Hydra, Chimera, some crazy stuff, always breaking the game. So make sure you go show him some love over there, please.
Yeah, and I'm going to chime in. If you have not watched his AI generated roast videos, y'all are missing out. Please post a link to that, Bronco. That last one was absolutely hilarious, and I know that takes a lot of resources for him to pull those off. And it was like a 9 or 10 minute video, and it was absolutely hilarious. So if you have not checked that out, please make sure you click that link and go check that video out. It's hilarious.
It's funny when he was actually messing with that stuff in the beginning. He's like, "Hey, do you mind if I use your voice or some stuff?" I'm like, "I guess." I had no idea what he was planning to do, but he did, and then he sent it to me, and like I can't really play it because I need the permission from the other person that was in there. But I was just like, "Oh my god, it really sounds so much like me," and I was like, "You got full permission, bro. As long as everyone else is cool about it, and like you just don't make me bash somebody out, like, you know, if you can't make it worse than what I am, just don't make it worse than what I am. That's it." But yeah,
Bronco, if you need
content.
voice work, call me. Call me. I'll do voice work for you. I don't care. I'll make up all kinds of crazy voices for you. Those are absolutely hilarious.
But yeah, some of that stuff has been phenomenal. So yeah, that said, I think this fusion is kind of mid game. Like I was talking to Jay, and he's like, "Well, you know, you could build some resistance on him and make him a resist bomber," and I'm like, I see what you're talking about. And then, you know, he's like, "Well, you could always try to use him as a what did he say? He said as a turn meter booster as well too because of the buffs." And I'm like, I guess it could work that way because, you know, if you can land the buffs and he's the first one to go, that's a 20% turn meter boost. If you can detonate the bombs right away. But it's not just his bombs, right? So it's any bomber champion that goes ahead of him will give you that turn meter boost. So that said, I feel like at this point, I'm probably just, again, going to go for the fragments for the energy caps. And then whatever I get, I get. Like, I do feel the burnout, and I do like going for these fusions because this is pretty much how I get my new champions, as we all know, because I haven't pulled anything good for the last couple of weeks. So, yeah. Chat, I hope you guys are prepared to skip if you're going to skip. Don't FOMO, right? Because who knows, maybe in the next couple of days, Teleria might come out and say, you know, we're going to switch some things on this guy to do it. That said, if Plarium is going to switch something on this champion to make him a must-do fusion, what would be the one thing that they would have to do? Ken?
I mean,
What would make this guy for you to say, shit, I have to do him because he's just that good?
nice looking lady wearing bikini. Is that count?
I love Cat.
I mean, that can be nice bomber for me, you know, like so.
Okay.
I mean, maybe his A3 skill also like no attack skill, so cannot be weak attack part. That can be nice, you know. So, and
Okay.
maybe affinity like magic affinity or the force. I think spirit affinity a little bit weak on that, you know.
Okay. Let's go to the curse one. The curse, what would they have to do for you to make sure that you're not going to miss out on this guy?
What would they have to do to make sure that I wouldn't miss out on him? Then they would have to turn that A3 into where it would just, you know, it wouldn't be able to weak it. But as far as I'm concerned, what I do like about him is the A2 unable to weak it.
Okay.
When placing the bombs, that is fantastic. Like you're guaranteed. So if you pair him with, you know, with somebody else that, you know, detonates the bombs, fantastic.
Okay.
You know, make it early. But I think that he does have good points to him. Again, he's, you know, being a spirit champion, and then on top of it, he's attack, not support, makes it even better. So, I mean, it kind of depends on what his multipliers and everything else is there too. So, but I think he's going to be a good champion for, you know, early and mid game players. I really do. I think he'll be able to, he won't hit as hard as Trunda, but for people that, you know, need champions starting out and going forward, I think he'll be able to wipe some waves.
Okay, fair. I'm actually going to steal an idea here from our boy Kurzad Gaming, who, if you, again, over on YouTube is doing some content, make sure we go there and give him a follow. He says he should be HP based. And you know what? I feel like other than Commodus, it's the only champion that is HP based nuker for bombs. I feel like we could probably get a legendary champion that's HP based for bombs. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think, chat? Would you be okay? And would you say, yes, I'm definitely going to go for him if he was an HP based champion instead of attack? Because we do have a lot of attack bombers. PJ, what about you?
Ooh, a lot of things you could do to make him a little bit better. I think it'd been cool if he was a defense bomber. We don't have any of those in the game. Could have been interesting. As far as the kit, yeah, like what Ken said, if they would have made the A3 also a like not weak hittable, because like we talked about earlier, the biggest thing is going to be he's going to get the bombs out, but then he's going to weak hit like the magic cleanser, and then you're screwed. So if you made both of those, not be able to weak it would be nice. I think if you had a guaranteed extra turn on the A2, that would be a lot better too, because if you're in arena and they have Pharaoh, then you're only landing 3 out of the 4, so you're not getting that 100% turn meter. So a guaranteed extra turn would be nice. And then especially people in chat say it, but if we're really gonna make this guy OP, then make it so you can put the bombs through like block debuffs or something like that. So there's no hiding. You're dead.
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Make him better. I don't really like, it's like theory crafting this dude into relevancy. I don't know. That's just kind of tough.
On a blank.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, just make him do more with bombs, right? Like I'd be curious to see if you threw like Nishak and Gaius and Commodus and this dude all on the same team, and could you just bowl through waves in like an instant, right? By letting each one of them kind of take their turns and do their thing type thing. If some sort of like synergy with that, I don't know if anybody's ever done something like that. That sounds like a Bronco video. I honestly, all bomber, all SmackDown team, see what happens with it. Knowing him, he'd get this dude nerfed. Shout out to his hilarious AI video again. I can't get over that. But yeah, now I'd be cool to just see more synergies with the bombers and stuff. So
I got another idea.
Okay.
Can ignore unkillable and block damage with the bombs.
Okay. That's actually a pretty solid idea. Block damage and unkillable. I mean, that's going to kill Marichka right off the bat, honestly. But yeah, I could see that. That would definitely be a good,
man, that'd be
viable.
That'd just be unstoppable though, because bombs already go through Stone Skin.
I mean, we're trying to make a champion that's what Blazin said. Make a champion that is a must do.
Make him a champion.
I mean, you're right.
You really
right.
want to go for.
You really want
to drain our resources or our wallets, right?
So putting that on his chest.
More complex, like bombs from other bombers can go through unkillable, but not his, or something like that, just to make him a little bit more balanced. But yeah, that could shut down a Marishka.
Yep. No. Especially now with block damage being a big part of the meta. Gestel, what about you?
Well, all great ideas. I like the HP one. That would have been very interesting. Or defense, like something there. I was just going off the fact that we need a reviver. Like maybe a bomb kills someone, it revives. Like kind of like an Odin thing.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's where I went with it, but I'm just trying to be different, really. I don't know.
Okay. Plurium, you got a whole bunch of ideas here that we've given you. So before the fusion goes live during CVC, while you're draining our resources, because it's a PR, think about, go back to the drawing table and say, you know what, we like these ideas. We're going to implement one of them. So I'm shooting for the HP based one. That's what I really want, to be quite honest. That said, we'll see how good this guy is. If he makes it into the top 100, I mean, there's a lot of champions. I never thought Stork was going to be used for Plat Arena pushes, and the guy's phenomenal. I mean, he destroys every team out there. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, let's talk a little bit about this. Champ Chase tournaments, and it's player 127227764, player 127246032, 16,000 points. This is just insane to see so many bot accounts, or at least what we think is bot accounts or Chinese farmer accounts, because we know that that's a big thing in Raid. This is kind of crazy to see in a Champ Chase. I don't think it's ever been brought up to this scale. Now, I want to ask you guys one question. Do you guys think that these are just people that are starting new accounts and that are just getting into, buying shards and then actually playing the accounts? Or do we think that these are all bot accounts that maybe Plarium or some Chinese farmers using? Ken, what do you think?
Bot account, of course. I mean,
Any of these player 127s?
no, nobody that lazy, man. Like nobody that lazy to change their name, but to spend like thousands of dollars. Come on.
Well, wait a minute. We had the one guy
Like
that
one
came
Kraken
in.
did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Tyraku's
Yeah,
old account.
that's only one account. Like there is how many of that here? Like
A lot of lazy people out there nowadays.
Yeah, I mean,
Word
No,
is,
this
Word
is
is
a
not
bot.
that big, man.
These are bots. Like in computer programming, especially considering how close their points are, means they ran
Yeah.
the same algorithm to do whatever the hell they did to get these all right here together. 100% spam bots.
okay. PJ, what do you think?
I have no idea. I guess bots from what everyone else is saying. I mean,
Does
it makes no
does-
sense if people just don't change their name. Like, yeah, I guess people are botting.
Okay. The curse one, what do you think?
I think it's Plarium bots trying to push up the amount
Okay.
The
amount
numbers.
of
Okay.
energy, amount of shards, amount of spending. I think it's Plarium bots.
I mean, look, there's one guy up here at 20K, one guy at 19.
They also
I
have no
mean-
clan, by the way.
That's true. This is global. And you
No
you
clan too. Yeah.
you can't click
No
on
clan.
the cannon.
I just feel like I don't know. I feel like it's Plarium or Raid, whoever you want to call it. I feel like it's them just trying to push people to use more resources to get to the top of the leaderboards in the tournaments and events.
But the thing is, I get what you're saying, but nothing in this tournament, in this bracket, makes me want to go. What is it, the 75 fragments?
It's
I
a
don't-
relic material, isn't it? I mean, a forge base.
Yeah, but it's
Man, that
75
mythical book,
fragments,
yeah.
Yeah.
and what are you gonna get? Another Wanda submission? Is it really worth it? What do you guys think, chat?
I
is it
mean-
really worth it?
Oh, that's what I got. I got my first mythical relic this week. I
Oh,
knew you were
snap.
going to remind me.
Nice.
I got my
You
first
know,
mythical
circle.
this week. It was
Yes.
the one from the Discovery that keeps you alive.
Zibius.
It's like a really OP one.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it's dope.
Was that
Congrats.
the one that you got for getting all the turtles?
Yeah, same thing.
No,
Yeah.
is that the same
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Same one.
Oh, cool. Well, I did not get all the turtles, but I did get my first mythical relic, and that's the one I
Nice.
got.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be a thing where, there's somebody out there that's trying to boost
I mean,
people in the brackets.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Please. So my chat is actually told me we also talked it on the stream. So here's the thing: like, if somebody own a company, let's say, they are running a couple of the accounts, and this account's ready for new owner. I'm trying to be not toss here.
Mhm.
And imagine one of these accounts pulling this mythical material and getting forge-based mythical relic that can be increase the amount of the effort people gonna be spend on that account, right? But again, like they was waiting that moment to be arrived, so they was saving their shard for that. It doesn't make sense to, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like you would have to be actively playing though to get that many shards. Like, let's logically
I mean,
think
they're
about
both.
this. True. But that's a lot of shards to pop for these types of events.
Mhm.
You're talking at least 25, 30 sacreds. If you're unlucky, like you may be popping into some ancients or something. I don't know. Zero, what do you think, man?
Yeah, 100% bots. I don't know what they're doing to do it, but yeah, I think the fact that they don't have a clan, you can't play this game and not be a part of a clan, or you're just missing out on sections of the game. So that is indicator. The fact that they're all around the same thing, they're all numbers or whatever. I do think it's interesting what the curse said though, because I know Twitch has been accused of botting as well to keep their numbers up, and it's like, It kind of makes sense. If you're trying to sell advertisement, you can say, hey, we've got, 2 million viewers every single day. Well, 500,000 of those are actual bots. Can you actually sell, more ads to a would-be advertiser if they're thinking they're getting 2 million eyeballs, for example?
Mhm.
Maybe same thing with this. We do have MTG who took over, like, hey, maybe they're trying to sell something on the back end to their investors. Look how many people are playing the game.
I feel
Well, like you
though,
said, this is a champ chase tournament. Like, where are they getting the shards if they're not in a clan? If you're not in a clan, you're not doing clan boss. You're not getting shards from there.
Right.
fair.
So this is not somebody just dropping 20 grand to go do a tournament. Like these are some crazy numbers that they're putting up. I can pull everything I have right now and I won't even get to 6,000.
Fair point. I guess, I want to hear, Chad, do you have anybody in your bracket that is, player whatever, as the number one person in there? Because here's the thing. I'm gonna honestly say I don't think it's Plarium trying to play any antics or anything like that, because we know that Plarium has bots in live arena, and they've gone through the effort of putting bogus names in there. They've gone through the effort of, at least making it look like you're playing against another player. I think if they were to go to this extent and put number ones in brackets like this, there's going to be a lot of flashbacks. So I don't think that this is Plarium.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah, it's a very borderline thing to do. What I do actually think it is probably some Chinese bot farmers out there, some other accounts that, maybe they just log in and get the rewards and stuff like that. Or it could be the other logic, or the other thing that is a 100% breaking against the TOS, which is somebody logging on, buying, pulling shards, and then recalling the funds. I do not suggest you do that. That is against the TOS. It is not it is not a fun thing. Guess so.
I got it. It's a money laundering scheme. They're taking drug money, boosting up their accounts, and then they're going to sell the accounts back to recoup the money. So it looks like it came from a legal source.
I'm gonna go ahead and say none of that.
Kidding, of course.
Yeah, there could be a whole. It's a gotcha game, and gotcha games are a whole big of a problem thing. With funding, we'll put it that way. Gessel, what do you have to say, man?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it looks like some sort of botting. Like even before, like I know a bunch of people who use like even like the Raspberry Pis, like a whole setup of them, and they'll get a whole bunch of BlueStack, set of them, and have like their raid accounts in, and then they can log into each of those. Like I know people doing that just playing raid for fun. I think it might not be this like grand scheme like corporation doing this. It could just be Joe Schmo, over who knows where in Norway, who's got a million Raspberry Pis set up or a million cell phones set up to do this. Like there's tons of these things out there now to do it. So it could be anything. It seems, but like I don't know where's the benefit? I guess.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
Like
You're losing money
it's-
though, like most likely, no?
I feel like I
Well,
really
so-
don't know what it could be. I really don't know where the benefit is. Like that's what I've been trying to think this whole time. Like why would you actually do it?
So
I don't
again,
understand what the
yeah,
benefit is.
if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it on something like a champ chase where there's a champion behind it, right? That way you have something extra in the account. But Bob here over on Twitch is making a point saying it might be one of those AFK accounts that sits back, does champ training, collects the, green shards, and then pops them off of this. It could very well be. Could very well be.
Green
That's a
shards,
lot of
mysteries.
mysteries.
Mysteries, yes. You know
That's
what
a
I mean.
lot of mysteries.
I'm just reading what he put in, okay?
Right. Oh, yeah, I get it, but that's a lot.
But yeah, listen, it is, but there are people out there that are sitting on 15, 20,000 mystery shards.
I pulled 10,000 for one of the April events.
Yeah,
Oh,
see?
damn.
I pulled 10,000 greens.
See, there you
Damn.
go.
I did it on
can
stream.
happen. But I most likely think that these are bot accounts that are just not like I can 100% say I don't think it's Plarium pulling any shenanigans. So that said, I do want to hear from chat if we have anybody in here. I don't see anybody that's saying that they have one of these guys in their brackets, but it'd be quite interesting to see.
I have one in my
somebody
bracket.
else-
He's in 10th place.
He's in 10th place. And is he
Yep.
the top one?
No, he's 10th in my brackets place.
Oh, he's 10th in your brackets place. I thought he was 10th in
Yeah,
global. I was like,
currently.
wait, what?
Right.
He's
No.
Okay. And what's like the number one in your bracket right now?
Right now 6,000, and currently the player whatever number is at like 1,800, I think, or 1,600.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, we'll see if Plarium has anything to say about it next week, but I'm curious to dig in deeper and find out what is actually going on here. That said, we're gonna touch up on a little bit of a touchy subject here because I feel like one of the things going on with Raid Shadow Legends, I mean, I'm sure it's going on across every game out there, right? Every gacha game out there is people overspending and people not controlling their budgets. And one of these things has to do with addiction, dopamine. The hit that we get from dopamine is more dangerous than alcohol or drugs. You know, I'm not a drug addict. I don't do drugs. Never. I've tried marijuana like once or twice, and that was it. Never really cared for it. But the dopamine from the shards, that's a hit, man. That can get you really going, and at the same time, you're just like, shit, I want more, I want more, I want more. And a lot of the times it gets people in trouble. One of the things I keep hearing a lot lately is with the TMNT event, I went too hard. You know, I did not have any self-control, and it can be a massive problem for a lot of people. So I want to ask you guys, and you can feel free to skip over the question if you don't want to answer it, right? But I want to get some accountability towards any of these gaming companies. Maybe should there be any more accountability? But I'm going to start off first with saying, how do you feel about the lack of spending caps and warnings in games like this, like Raid, Watcher Realms? Should there be a built-in mechanic that prevents you from overspending? Should you be able to come in and say, listen, my discretionary from week to week or month to month is $100. I want you to put a cap in and not let me spend over that because I know it's a problem for me and I have no self-control. Let's go ahead and let me start with the curse one first.
Me personally, I do think that there needs to be some type of spending cap in the game. The fact that people can come in and just fucking go all out completely is kind of insane. I do feel like there needs to be a monthly spending cap because of the fact that a lot of the better stuff, a lot of the better gear, the accessories are all hid behind you must wins. You must win Siege, you must win Clan vs. Clan, you must work, both PR and, non-PR, you must win Hydra clashes just to get the good accessories to go with the good sets. So being that it's unlimited spending, like it's insane when you're talking about, free to play players versus, the super mega Krakens that are in the game. I do feel that, it is crossing a line of, privacy, I guess, to an extent to be like, what is your limit? But yeah, there needs to be something where people aren't putting themselves, completely in debt.
Right. I'm not going to say any names, but there was an individual that went really hard on this TMNT event and then made a comment about, I don't have any food, but I got all the turtles. And it's like, how do you get to that point? And, where should the line be? Whose fault is it? Is it the players that didn't show the self-control, or is it the company that just keeps being greedy and greedy and greedy? And I know chat is blowing up right now on a lot of this stuff. Let me hear from Mr. Zero Brew next.
Yeah, so this is a tough subject, and I may have a bit of a different take on this. So, like, so there's multiple things to kind of touch on here. So first of all, like, let's just be honest, people are really bad with their money. Uh, they just are. In general, um, and it takes a lot of discipline and actually education. I think our schools, and I'm speaking from an American's perspective, right? Ken may have a different take, being from a different area of the world, right? But like from American perspective, I do think that there is a lack of education when it comes to um, doing things right with money. And then you tap in and you present something like this to the game. Let's separate the addictive piece from that, and it's like, okay, well, I'm really bad with money, I'm making bad decisions, and I'm going to use those bad decisions to turn toward the game, turn toward this game, right? And of course, the game company is going to love that because they're just making money hands over fist, right? So I think that's one aspect of it. I think people need to take some accountability and or seek help in terms of education and or talk to a financial advisor or whatever. Like, but a lot of people just don't know how to create a budget for themselves and stuff like that. Just something as simple as that, right? And so hearing that someone couldn't afford food is really sad to hear. But at some point people have to also take accountability, and if they don't have the wherefore or whatever to figure it out, like ask for help. I would just say, right? And then that goes out if anybody ever comes to my stream and wants any financial advice or anything like that. And again, I gotta be careful what I say, but it just happened to come up a couple of weeks ago, and people say, "Oh, well, you're explaining that very well." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, it's just just how I was taught about that." So, so feel free to reach out to me if anybody has any help for that. Now, in terms of the addictive personality pieces, we all have our things, and I'll just open up and just say something personal about me. Like my dad was what I would call a functional alcoholic, meaning he drank every single day of his life and still tried to work and drive and all kinds of stuff. And I learned a bunch of bad habits from that. But I never was a daily drinker like him, but I'm more of a binge drinker. And some people have heard some certain stories, especially my Austin trip that I did back in March. It was real bad for you boys here, Brew. And so I would say, each person has their different vices, right? Some people it may be drugs, some people it may be spending money, some people it may be doing slot machines. Of course, this is built from a gambling company like that. I think it's also very important for people to identify kind of what their vices are, and again, seek help when it comes to that, right? So, like, for me, if I start drinking, I don't know when to stop half the time, and that's on me. So I've had to try to put guardrails on myself in life when it comes to that. And I think if this game is a problem for you, and again, going back to if it was an addiction piece, and you couldn't afford your food this week, or this month or whatever, then you need to identify that is a vice for you, and seek help. That's what I would say. So hopefully that helps someone out there.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna give an example here. One of my coworkers has a problem with alcohol. Okay. And I'm not making excuses. Like, I'm very tempered with alcohol. Like, I will go out, I will drink. Gambling wise, I'm kind of the same thing. I've gone to a casino once. We spent $20, my wife and I, on some slot machines. We never looked back, right? I don't gamble. I don't buy lottery tickets. I don't any of that. When it comes to rate, it's totally different. But back to my friend, he was caught under the influence 3 separate times. He went to rehab multiple times, and it is an addiction. It is a mental sickness, and it's very difficult to change ways. Like, you have to want to change ways. So I understand that. But I feel like with some of this stuff, people aren't prepared, like, to enter into these games, because remember, when we were younger, games were, we bought the CD, we played it, and that was it. There was never these microtransactions coming in. And with the scale from Plarium, and I'm sure a lot of other games do it, the leveling of the spending goes up so high. You could start out at a $10 pack, make a couple of transactions, and then next thing you know, the next cheapest pack you're going to buy is $50, right? And so I think with that in mind, that is somewhere where, you know, I want to bring attention, because we need, I feel, a way to counter that in a way that's going to still be beneficial for the company to make money, but still protect the player base. PJ, what do you got to say?
Yeah, I think in a perfect world, what you're talking about is amazing. Sadly, we don't live in a perfect world. I mean, you're asking a company to limit the amount of money they're going to make, which I think is never going to happen. Go to your casino and say that, they're going to laugh at you.
Fair.
I think it's like we've talked about this in the past, and I have a similar stance of before. I feel like it's more on the individual personally. Yeah, it would be great if in game you could limit the cap. Like, I think that'd be a good idea, but it's still up to the individual to set the limit and then to uphold the limit. Like, I know people in, like, I think TikTok has settings where you can kick you off after a certain time, but then you can just go back into the settings and change it and be like, actually, never mind, I want to do it. So like, there's one thing of having it in the game, and then there's actually another thing for, like you said, that person to actually do it themselves and hold themselves accountable. And I think at the end of the day, it all comes back to the individual. I mean, that's terrible that someone's couldn't eat because they spent on TMNT, but yeah, I don't think that's necessarily Polarium's fault. I think it's more of of us, and the individual got to kind of take a step back and be like, okay, this is getting out of hand. We got to slow down. Personally.
Okay. Hey, let's give a big shout out to SCRSL, who's another official raid content creator, for that massive raid. Guys, make sure to give him a follow over on Twitch. Great streamer. Thank you very much, so much, brother, for the raid. Welcome everybody, and I hope you're ready to have a discussion about some of the bad things in raid and some of the good things. While I get that, and you're right, you don't go into a casino and you don't say, hey, you know, help people control their spending, but there are things that are set that will make sure people that need help get help. And
I agree. Sorry.
And in games like this, there really isn't anything like that.
No, I agree. I mean, like I said, I think it'd be great if they could add that, but it's still at the end of the day up to the individual to do it and to uphold like what they want to do. Like,
right.
Plarium can add the game or like the setting, but that doesn't mean people are going to use it.
Right. Okay. Let's go to Gestel next. Gestel, what do you have to say about it, man?
Yeah, it's obviously tragic to hear someone didn't have food, you know, because they were, you know, buying pixels in raid. I've been very open about it. I detest this portion of the game. I wish everyone could just be free to play and build the account up, and whatever. There's a $10 a month fee to keep it going, like back in the back when WoW
World of
days,
Warcraft,
and yeah, like I would be 100% for it, but I hate it. I hate that. Like when I first started getting into these, and like if I didn't do all this other stuff, I probably would have quit this game years ago, to be perfectly honest, because I've gotten to that point where it's just it's really an ugly side of video games. Because this game is awesome, despite that, and I try to always look past it.
Okay.
But it is the ugliest and the worst part of this game, but it is a great game. And that's the problem, right? Like, and then I've, invested into it in multiple facets now. So, and I still enjoy it. So I'm going to keep playing it, but I'm not going to get into other games like this. I've said this is my last,
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Like I play Watcher Realms, but like I'm not going to put money into it. And frankly, I haven't logged into it in a couple of weeks. Like It's just like I get tired of them way too quickly, and it's mostly because the money side of it. All that being said, I don't know what you can do. I'm with PJ. I don't want the government deciding this. Zero, flat out. I don't want them coming up with this, that. Then it just becomes even more corrupt, and then it's just stupid. So then the company has to do it. Well, like, is the company? The company could slap warnings on there. You could, like, they could do all the stuff, but people are still gonna do it. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if there's an answer. I just wish, like I always say, I just wish Plarium would find their soul and be like, you know what, we are. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. We have $100 for packs on here. That is
Yeah.
just. It's absurd. It's absurd. And I know and this is the other side of it too, though. There are people out there who have a few money.
Yep.
And if you tell them they can't spend money, they're gonna say F you. And they're not
Yeah.
gonna spend the money. So, like, you can't restrict those people because they'll get angry that they can't spend their stupid money. So I just don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer. My answer is I basically don't spend money anymore, and I still enjoy the game. And that's how I'm going to keep approaching it.
I think one of the things that Plarium can do is let you control which spending tier you want to be in. Whether you want to be in the,
Nice.
let's call it the 25%.
It's Christmas time.
The,
Put me in the top tier.
50, and it's. I think that's probably the best way to look at it, is say,
That'd be better.
let me control, because if my budget is only $15, $20 a week, and if, I happen to save it for the next couple of weeks, all of a sudden I make 3 or 4 purchases, now my spending tier moves up, right? I don't know what the exact number is to where you have to spend to move up, but I do know that it's based on how many transactions and how big the transactions are. And if you're making multiple of them in a shorter time, it moves you up. So I feel like probably the best thing that they could do is just say, okay, you want to control your spending. We're all up for that. The Krakens are still going to Kraken. The whales are still going to whale, but it allows a safety feature for the people that need the control that can't have it. And I know it sounds like BS to ask a company to do it, but could there be more problems down the line for companies like this, especially because of the loot boxes and stuff? I mean, we've been seeing them cracking down in Europe, right? Let's go to Mr.
Can I just
Go ahead.
Tap into that. I 1000% support that. Because again, I'm with Gestel. I've spent my money in this game, and I'm pretty low to spend at this point now. But I will say, if they drop something and I have the disposable income, I want to be able to buy it, and I want to not get locked out. So I think I would love to be able to set myself as having the top tier, and it's like, hey, if I want to drop $500 right now, you're gonna let me drop $500. I'm gonna get the shirts that I want to complete this event or whatever. Because I'll never forget. They did a guaranteed, and you need like 110, void shards or whatever. And because I had dropped down to the lowest tier, even if I had bought their limit of stuff, it wouldn't have given me enough shards. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm not participating in your event. But if I was in that top tier, I could have participated, and I would have dropped the money. So they cost themselves some money like that. So I think it would be a win-win for Plarium to allow people to lock in there. Was it like 3 or 4 tiers?
Yeah.
And people should have the ability to lock that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken, what about you? What do you have to say, man?
I mean, I'm good. I'm really good on the controlling myself. I mean, I look at the game price.
For you,
you know, like
the prices for everything.
I'm looking my income. I'm looking the chance of the getting good champion in this game. I'm looking the price of that. I'm like, not worth it. So very simple. About your comment, I totally agree with the Gestal, by the way. I don't want like government or something like that is get into it, because they are not a players. They are going to do bad decision, and it's going to hurt all of us. So like, we don't want that. Like, also like I don't know, like, can you buy unlimited ammo right now, like from the gun shop, like right now? Is there a limit for that? Bullet?
I don't believe so. I'm
So if somebody addicted to kill someone, he can buy unlimited bullet, but you cannot spend whatever money in the game. I don't know which one is more
so
dangerous.
there is, I don't know how far the cap is, but there is a cap to the daily, which I think I've heard some rumors being almost $15,000 that you can spend in one single day in raid.
Okay.
So I guess Plarium does have a cap, but that's buying everything out of the shop.
I mean, there is also like, again, like I'm not really like looking anything, any deal or anything like, when the pop-up appear, I just close it because I'm not gonna buy. Why would I look, right? So there is also like some daily limit you can purchase the offer, don't you? Like,
well, there's like limits of like one pack
Uh-huh.
per and stuff like that, but
And,
the daily limit is 15,000. Is I've heard of people spending up to 15,000 in one single day.
bro, maybe
Those
Elon
are
Musk playing
saying
the
don't
game.
give
Maybe 15,000 doesn't matter for him. Like, how we are gonna be
right.
general that, right? I mean, everybody income is different too, like.
Right.
So $15,000 for the Elon Musk is nothing. It's like, hey, bro, remove this limit, man. I want to spend $1 million on the game. Like,
right.
then are we gonna blame him for that? No. Like, he have money, he can do it, right? To be honest, like this is a little bit on the personal, in my opinion. Like, people need to be control themselves, and if they can't, they need to get some help. And then you cannot really like force every one of us because some people cannot control themselves. Like,
Right, and I'm not saying that this should be forced on anyone. What I'm saying is, should there be a mechanic put in place for those people that need the help to get the help, right? To
I mean,
be
how we are gonna know
restrictive
that
enough.
these people too? Like, you're talking about the system going to be detect these people. Like, how we are gonna do that?
Well, I mean, there's like, if you come up to me and you tell me, "Hey, Blazin, you need to control your spending." That
I mean, isn't
okay, cool?
isn't
then-
bank should be already like kinda. I mean, they don't have a
Monitoring
money,
it.
right? Where is the money come from? The bank. They are
Well-
getting rent from the bank, and if they cannot afford the rent, then bank they cannot spend anymore, aren't they? Like, where is this money come from?
there's,
They're going
there's
I mean,
a
if I
lot of
cannot pay my,
ways
if
people
I
can-
cannot pay,
go ahead.
anyway.
go ahead.
continue.
No, go ahead.
If I like, let's say like I have a 50,000 to my bank, okay? I need to own $50,000 to the bank. If I cannot pay that money, then they are gonna be stop giving me money and they are gonna be suing me, right? So I cannot spend anymore because I need to pay my money to the bank first. No, isn't that
The-
kind of stuff working on there?
Yes, there is a repayment issue, but there's a lot of ways. Like, people can go out. Credit card companies, for example, now have a big thing where you can apply for a credit card online. You automatically get the number. You can put it on your Apple Pay or your Samsung Pay, and then all of a sudden, boom! Within minutes, you can charge everything that's available to you, and it could be anywhere
But-
from a couple $100s to thousands of dollars.
Aren't they looking like your background? Like, do you have like any other like debt to the another bank or stuff like that? Like, how easy this making a
Yeah,
credit card?
And
They
it's
want you to go into debt.
it's
then they
pretty
pay
easy
them
to
more.
get yourself into that. Especially
Well, I
with-
think you guys need to work on here then on the bank system, because like if you own the money to the bank, you cannot make another credit card. They need to look at your background. So
I'll give you an example.
maybe instead of the
here.
game, you guys need to fix this system, I think.
I'll give you an example. So let's say I wanted to whale out, right? And I had the bright idea saying, you know what, I'm going to charge it all on cards and then just pay it back slowly. I could essentially, if I really wanted to, apply to so many credit cards over the next hour and then come in and just blow everything on raid, and it could be thousands of dollars. And the immediate impact would be different from the long-term impact, because if I couldn't pay it, I would be sued. I would be everything. But right here, right now, that is a possibility that somebody could do. And the problem is because it's a gotcha game, and the dopamine and the way things are built, it can get you to frustrate you to want to just pull and do more and buy more in game. And I guess that's kind of the bigger issue, is where I see.
I
I
mean,
feel like if you're
he
going through
just-
all those extra steps, though, like it's on you. I guess it's on us. It's on the individual.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing all of that, it's.
I mean, you
like,
can also go casino and like PJ said, like you can spend unlimited money there. Like, so you are going to shut down the casino now? Like,
Well, again, casinos though have things in place where if you are addicted to gambling, if you are having problems, casinos have places that are mandatory for you to get help. Games
Casinos
like this
also
don't.
have like things to keep you there forever. Like they give you like free drinks, they give you food. They like are designed
No
to make you
clocks.
so no clocks, no lights, so you don't know what
Peaceful
time it
paint
is.
coloring on the walls. The
Yeah,
carpet is in a
right.
matching
Yeah, so,
pattern.
like, let's
That's
not-
Sounds like
Make
good
it super
place.
cold so you can't get sleepy.
Exactly. Yeah, they pump the stuff with like helium or like oxygen or whatever. So like
Yep,
you stay
yep.
awake longer.
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
the
and I
fresh
get that.
oxygen.
But what we're not getting the, I guess what I'm not doing a good enough job explaining is that with that said, the casino does have measures in place like, hey, PJ, you got a problem with gambling? Listen, here's the hotline. You're added to a list where you can't enter the casino unless you're, put in with somebody out of addiction or, whatever.
The casino says this to you. When did they say this?
There are programs that if you were to go into a casino and you have a problem, there is a program that they can put you in, and there is a ban list for you not to be allowed to back into that casino.
How they can put you in, but like, I mean, yeah, in a perfect world, Raid has this, but like, it's still up
Raid
to
doesn't
you to
have this.
do it.
The gotcha
That's what I'm saying. In
games
a
and the
perfect
gotcha-
world,
yeah, the gotcha mechanics of the gotcha games don't have this, and this is the problem.
But how do they
with-
monitor if you're spending too much or not? They're looking at your bank credit card information
this
and
is one of
seeing
those
if you're
things
going
where
into
you have
debt.
to come into realization and say, you know
Exactly.
what,
It's all
I
up to
need
you.
help, or a family member or something.
But you can find that
Raid-
help without Raid. Be like you can like you said, there's hotlines and stuff. Like you don't have to be in Raid to get help. There's other ways to get help.
True, but gotcha games don't have any sort of mechanic in there that say, okay, you could still play the game. Because again, I go back to the original. Remember
Google.
when you were a teenager, you would go out, you'd buy a game for $20, $30, you'd play the game, you enjoy it, and then that's it. But these games aren't designed like that. These games are to grab. And unless you have that that self-control, it gets you into problems. Go ahead, Ken.
I mean, you can also buy like Pokemon card like that. Like,
True.
I mean,
True.
unlimited, like.
But
Again, like this addiction can be like multiple things. Like it doesn't need to be game. Like you guys mentioned, like it can be alcohol too. But eventually, like end of the day, it's a little bit personal problem in my opinion.
right.
Like,
And I will admit, I will say it is a problem on the player themselves if they go that route. But I do feel like there should be something from the company itself that says, hey, look, we're going to put this safeguard in, whether you choose to use it or not. We have it in there because it's the right thing to do.
So do you think
but the same thing can be said about food too, right? People can be addicted to food, and if a 400-pound person walks into KFC and says, "Give me that family bucket," it's not KFC's fault to slap the bucket out of their hand and say, "No, you need to go on a diet." You know what I mean? You need help. I mean,
That
just
is-
I mean,
That
yeah,
is
it's
true.
the same
That is true.
concept.
I feel like you're
Yeah.
saying so you want like a hotline, or you want something like in game to help like
Again,
just promote.
It would be, listen, I'll give you a great example. On Google Play, Google has a thing that says, hey, set your spending limit. Once you hit that spending limit cap, it pops you out saying, warning, you've gone over the spending limit cap, or you're reaching close to it. Keep this in mind for the future. And it allows you to do that for the month. Something like that in game for the players that, are doing that would be a good thing, because then it gets the company in saying, okay, we understand that the game is very, very, greedy. Okay. But at the same time, it makes the person, okay, do I really want to go for this? Is this really worth going over? And, is this going to hurt me in any sort of way? Am I paying my rent this month, or am I buying a mythical type of situation?
Me personally, I like that. I think that's a great idea. I just don't know how effective it would actually be because the person has to do it themselves. But like, if they want to add that, I think that'd be a great addition. Like, I don't think it would hurt anything. I just don't know how effective it'd actually be. But I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I
if someone's risking homelessness versus a mythical, then they already have a player me ain't gonna do nothing to help that. Like if you can't
that's
make that decision, there's something else going on. You know what I mean?
and I get that, and it's true. That statement is true, but again, it's more of just the morality of should this be implemented from the game company itself while it's in there, right? Because again, if we look on my main account, most of the packs that I have are $100, right? Which is okay for me, but it might not be okay for somebody else that can't do it. But and at the same time, if they see what person A does and they're like, well, I want to do that and I want to get that because it's all about wanting what somebody else doesn't have or what somebody else has, because a lot of people are thinking that way or built that way, it creates a problem.
It's like
Even
with
bro,
the
I see like
Joneses.
people with the Lamborghini. I'm not saying like I'm gonna buy Lamborghini. I can't.
You don't want to buy a Lamborghini again?
I can't. No money, dude. How can I do it? So what should I do now?
That's true, but
Should we blame that person to have a Lamborghini?
No, but on a situation like that, it's a lot more different than. I'll give you an example, and I put out every shard pull video I do, whether it's good or bad, because it shows the good sides and the bad sides. The bad sides where I'm pulling 40 sacreds and I pull 2 legendaries because I'm going into mercy so hard, and then there's some that are really good, and I have a guilty conscience every time I put out a really one that pops out like 5 or 6 legendaries, because I feel like people are going to see that and they're going to be like, wow, he got that kind of luck. I want that. And I feel like every time I do put videos out like that, it's a problem where people are enticed to spend. And I feel like that is a problem. Like I literally legitimately hate. And that's why I always will post the videos that have the, one legendary out of the 200 ancients or the one legendary out of the 30 ancients, because that is the brutal honest truth of what could happen. But I really don't like posting those videos. And I guess I'm a big hypocrite with this. I get it, chat. I'm a huge hypocrite with this. But it just feels like it's so wrong, because it will entice somebody to do it because they'll feel, and I felt like that. Like I watched when I was, starting early. Again, granted, I'm in a different situation, so it's not as impactful for me. But when I was watching Ash pulling, 3 or 4 legendaries back, out of the 2x voids back in the day, I was like, hell yeah, I want to go. Let's go. Again, I'm in a different situation, so it's not as impactful for me. But for the other people out there, that is a problem. All right, let me give a couple of shout outs here real quick. First, I want to give a shout out to T-Bone for the tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, brother. And then I want to give another shout out to our boy Priest Guardian for the super chat. This is an individual based problem, and it's different for everybody's in their financials. What everybody spends on entertainment is different than your budget. I mean, people can blow anything they want and not play the game, which I 100% agree. Let me ask this. Do you guys feel that the company itself, that the game developer, should have any responsibility to protect the player base from being in that kind of a situation? Do you think that Plarium should be morally, or I guess legally bound into some sort of way of making sure that the player base is not doesn't get themselves over the edge? Zero.
Yeah, I'll start. First of all, I think, just to bridge the gap between these two questions, I think, and I do this with casinos, is you set your entertainment budget, and this is your entertainment budget, whether you put the money into Raid Shadow Legends or you're going to a casino. And I've personally done that and said, look, I've got $1,500 to blow at gambling, and if I don't get a penny of this back, that was my entertainment budget, right? So I think that's how most people should treat Raid Shadow Legends. And then in terms of this, the only thing I would want to see is just how scummy things are, like with the price fluctuations and the pop-ups and the click it now FOMO mechanic. If you click off of this, you lose the opportunity type thing. I think they should be forced to show you what the price of the item is, because they constantly are changing the prices of things. If a Sacred Shard's worth $20, then they should say today's pop-up is $20 for a Sacred Shard, or hey, we're offering you a special deal today. It's $15 for a Sacred Shard. And I know I'm doing this in USD, whatever your currency is in the world. I think they should absolutely not be able to hide behind a made up fake game currency like gems, energy, whatever. And there's the inception level of price values. I think just like when you walk into a store and there's a price tag on the shelf and it says, this item will cost you $30. Today it's on sale for $20. You should be able to see that and know exactly what you're buying. So I think if they get forced to do anything, I think they should be forced to be very transparent with how much dollars are being spent for said item, especially given how much they fluctuate and force that FOMO situation. I think they should be able to still do the pop that says, hey, if you click this now, but they should say, by the way, this is really a $21 thing and not a $19 thing. Like there should be full transparency. That's what I would suggest they do.
Okay. And I want to just address something here, chat. I'm not trying to have this discussion to be a downer or anything like that, but in the recent light of what has happened with the TMNT event, where everything's been very greedy, pretty borderline predatory, and with the events coming soon for Christmas, I want people to be prepared. I want people to have that discussion. And maybe you're that one person out there that watches this and says, I need help, right? And that's the most important thing, is if you need help, you got to seek out the help. PJ, what do you think?
What's the question?
What responsibility do you think the game developers should have? Should there be a legal responsibility for them to say, hey, we're here to help, or should there be like a moral responsibility with them saying, control yourself type of situation?
Yeah, I don't really want them to get too involved. I kind of saw this thing in chat where it's like, should the grocery store limit the amount of food people buy, or junk food, or kind of ZP said it too, like KFC limit the amount. Like, I think it's on you. I don't think we should be having people or companies really tell us what we can and can't do. I mean, I'd love for them to have some more morals, but that's like, I don't think they should limit anything because they have morals. I think they should just make things a little bit more fair, or like be able to see, like the string pack. I think the strings pack is bullshit that you can't see the packs. I think it's also kind of bullshit that they change the pack offers like every day. Sometimes a sacred is $20, sometimes it's $25, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. So you never have like a good read on what's a good deal versus not a good deal, because it's always changing. But yeah, I would rather them stay out of it as much as possible.
So again, I know you guys are making the argument of saying, well, I don't think these other companies are setting a precedent. And I'm not saying, or not setting a limit. And I understand that. Okay. And I understand that the fact has to be done to the individual. But on situations like this, where there is a clear borderline of where the player can have the discretionary and not have the discretionary fund, and very quickly cross over that line, I feel like this is one of those things where there needs to be something there, right? There needs to at least be that warning of, hey, you're about to cross that line, think about it. And there isn't, right?
I mean, it's like
Bro,
keeping up with
this
the
warning not gonna stop
Joneses.
them.
Like the warning is your credit card saying maxed out and going in debt,
Yeah.
going in debt. Like
But
the warning is you not eating food that week and being like, oh shit, like I'm hungry. Let me like I can't buy anything. Like I don't like I would love them to be warnings in game, but like I just don't know how effective the warnings are going to actually do
Yeah.
to people.
fair. Again, I just see more of a issue there where it's not in. And maybe if you did have the warning, it may be that one stop before you say, okay, well, because you don't, your credit card and all that stuff, yes, you'll see it when it's maxed out, you'll see it there. And you'll see a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of you in chat or a lot in your communities have seen the player like, damn, I just blew like $700-800 on shards and I got absolutely shit. Like I regret it. And it's, you know, at that point, it's kind of a problem. Like, would they have done that if there was something in that said, hey, you're getting close to that spending limit, you're getting too far ahead, right? Ken, what do you have to say?
I mean, I agree with the PJ, man. Like, I understand you, like, you try to help these people, but the solution you suggest are not going to be effective. Like, you are saying, like, hey, bro, don't spend money. He's like, all right, man, okay, you are right. Let's stop that deal. These people are already have some problems, and this little warning is not going to help them, man. Like, to be honest, they need, like, I don't know, like, they need more than this. You know, if they out of the money, they should be out of money, to be honest. Like, I don't understand. Like, if somebody like doesn't have a money, how he can spend the money? Like, the problem is on your bank system, in my opinion. Like, if your credit card is full, which means you cannot spend the money. Very simple. Like, I don't know. Like, if I have a money to,
I guess I will address it this way. The US is built in ways to keep you in debt. That's literally how it is.
that's not Polarium fault, man. You guys need to
That's
fix your
true.
country then. I'm sorry. I mean,
that's true. And it is different in other countries.
I mean, this company is not from USA at all. Like Polarium, I mean.
Right.
They are Ukrainian company.
And I'm just gonna address a question here from Dundid. What up now? No, I have no regrets on anything that I have put in and anything that I get. I might not get what I feel sometimes is deserved, but it at least puts out some truth on some things. Gestel, what about you? What do you think, man? Should the developers have more, more systems designed into the game? Should it be more legally, more moral for them to put something in like this?
Well, like I said, they don't. I feel like they don't have a soul. Like I don't know how you do. I don't know how you do what they do. Frankly, I would be, if I had a company, I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed to say this is my company. I don't know. I don't know. What do you
pull out in your Lambo?
I wouldn't own a Lambo. I would own a whatever. I would own a way cooler car than a Lambo, in my opinion. But Lambos are sweet. But I would like. Would you really like me with gray hair driving around in a Lambo? Like, really? Would that look cool? Dude. Would that look cool? I don't feel like I would feel so weird driving around in a Lamborghini. Whatever. Regardless. Yeah. I don't know. What are they gonna? I don't know. I don't know what they can put in. I don't know, because like PJ said, people like addicts, right? I mean, just to put it to that, like, like unless it like, not for everybody, but it either takes rock bottom or like you just make yourself quit. It's it's cold turkey or rock bottom. Like there might be in betweens. I don't know. I'm sure people have stories, fine, but like for the most part, you either bottom out or you have the will to do it. So I don't know what playing could do to help. I don't really know. What they could do is not make the prices astronomical, and I don't know. Charge shouldn't cost $25 a pop. That's insane. Whatever. Like you could go through a million things, but like I don't know, where do you cap it? Like, what would be the cap?
Well, and I think
I don't really know. I don't know. I could go in circles for days. I could go in circles for days. I don't know the answer.
Being transparent with the price would go a long way. Because,
agree with
because
that.
that's because
And not
that's what
the-
they do is they hide what you're actually spending. You can't even actually look.
Oh, and I've been saying that
sure.
about games forever. I hate
Yeah.
the fake currency. I don't think that should exist. Like it should just be here. It's $20, or it's 20 Turkish dollars, or it's 20 British dollars, whatever, pounds. I don't know what your names are, but like I agree 100% with that. It should always be 100% transparent in terms of what you're spending. I hate the gems. I hate the whatever. All video games do it. They all have their stupid currencies. And then you get the games that have like millions of currencies, and you can buy them all. Like and that's why MMOs all suck now. No one wants to play an MMO because it's like you get to end game by spending money. You don't even like play the games anymore. So whatever, rant over. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
And in Turkey, it's lira. That is the
There you
currency.
go.
The lira.
Thank you.
The different
Um,
stage prices would be nice that you could switch to whatever you want.
Yeah,
I think that would be
I
a
think
nice
the things
upgrade.
we've mentioned would all be great. I think those would all be great. I just don't. I don't know.
and
Player's not going to do it. They haven't changed anything. They've only
Well-
gotten worse with this stuff.
here's an argument I'm going to make for Plarium to do this that could be in their favor is the people that don't have that self-control, the people that aren't able to say, you know what, this one transaction's it a month. I don't want to go anything more than this because I know I can get myself in trouble. You know, if you put a mechanic in like this where the player can just say, that's it, that's the only thing that I want to do, and then maybe put a cooldown on it like a month before you can raise it or anything like that, I think that can maybe encourage someone and still protect them on the same time, right? I think if Plarium is watching this, which I know they are, take that from this. And I know it's an incentive for you to put it in, and it's also an incentive for you to make money. So I know I'm definitely playing devil's advocate with this right now, but this is my argument for why you should put it in. DeCurse, what do you got to say, man?
In my opinion, I mean, it's all still, comes down to personal accountability, choices, the consequences. But is there a little bit of predatoriness behind Plarium's antics during the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Yeah, they drug it out for 3 months, did multiple fusions in between that had nothing to do with the Turtles event that they could have just, put it all together really quick. And then Leo, 80,000 to get the champion. 80,000 points alone for the champion, not counting what he needed to get down to him. Like, that was insane. But I mean, it's personal accountability. You make the choice. I don't get into the FOMO. I see, streamers all the time are like, I don't skip a fusion, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about the fusion. If I don't have the resources, I don't have the resources. So, we got to get past the FOMO personally. And then on top of it, it's still choices and consequences. So,
Yeah.
but could they be a little more lenient on, hey, this guy's low spend. This guy spends $1 million. Maybe we shouldn't match make them. That would go a long way as well. Don't make people feel like fucking door stool stepstones to the people that spend big money in the game. Like, cool, you spend big money. Go be matched against people that spend the same amount. Have the same fucking, size accounts.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Again, there is morally, I look at it myself and I say, this is a problem. I mean, a lot of you will remember, because before I was going to have this discussion, I spoke to Sus, who's actually in chat, and I said, hey, what do you think about this topic? I ran some things by him, because every so often I will pick somebody out when I want to have a discussion like this from the viewers and say, what do you guys think about this? Is this a subject that should be discussed? And he brought out, I don't know if you guys remember the video from Hell Hades where he said he can't go into a casino because he has a problem with gambling. And Raid is basically the same thing. If you don't have the cap, if you don't have the self-control, you can very well see yourself having a massive, massive problem. And if you're hiding it from your significant other, that's a bigger problem. That said, I want to put a message out there to everybody. If you need help, you need to get help. You know, I don't know if there's any things out there. I know that there's hotlines that you can call for gambling, and I would tell you to do the same thing here. Honestly, if you're finding yourself happening with this issue more than one time, delete the fucking game. Okay? It's the only time I will tell you to, for yourself, your family, and your health, delete the fucking game and move on. A gotcha game, if you have an addictive personality, is not something for you, right? Unless there's measures put in place, unless there's things that you can do outside, it's not for you, unfortunately. So with that said, I want to ask you guys, is there anything on the subject that you guys want to, let the community know? Anything you feel that we probably should have touched up on or made a comment on about this? Zero.
No, I think you said it all right. If you need help, get help. There are definitely hotlines for this, and if people need help with money management too, feel free to reach out or seek help on that. I'm sure there's plenty of online things or YouTube videos you can watch on stuff. I think educating yourself and treating this as a hobby and trying to keep it stay in that lane. Again, people with addictive personalities, that's a lot harder to say than done. But like I said, I know I've self-identified certain problems and have to put guardrails up on myself, and or have people in my life, like my wife, for example, help me stay accountable and have those guardrails up for when I do have a weak moment, right? So I think that would be my advice to people out there.
Okay. PJ?
I think we hit a lot of great topics. I think you bring a lot of good points. I don't think there should necessarily be a cap, but I think them adding like precautionaries, adding a hotline or something, it couldn't hurt. Like, we're just trying to help people out. It definitely couldn't hurt their situation. Now, will fix the situation? I personally don't think so, but I don't think it would be bad. I think it'd be good for people if they do need help to reach out, get help. Definitely. It's sad. No one wants to hear people that can't eat because they're spending on TMNT or Raid. Like, that's never anything you want to hear. So hopefully this talk helped a few people out there, or helped one person. Then we did our job, I think. And Plarium, just have a little bit of a soul, I guess. Like, I think we mentioned earlier, like the pack string, just being able to see each pack would be huge. Like, hiding that behind like a smoke and mirrors, I think, is bullshit. So there's little things like that I think would go a long way in the game.
Awesome. Ken, what about you?
I mean, again, like, if you need help, get some help. There's nothing wrong with that. So, like, it can be happen to any one of us. Like, I also have some addiction. Like, I actually don't have addiction, but my addiction behind of the money, so no money, so no addiction. But yeah, I'm not smoking or drinking anything, guys. So I'm good there, but I can be unlucky too. It's a life, man. Like, it's not our choose, like, it's how the life bring you in, right? So I got lucky, I guess. But again, like, if you need some help, there is a places that can help you, that can actually help you. So yeah.
Awesome. Gessel, what about you?
I think everyone has kind of said it all. I don't know what else to say. Honestly, it's a touchy subject. It's a tough one to bring up. It's sometimes hard to take a good look at yourself, and I think maybe it's a good opportunity to do that. And if there's great places. I am definitely not a good person to talk to. I don't know what I would tell you. But I think there's probably professionals out there that could help you if you have addictions and stuff. So certainly seek out the professionals.
Agreed. The curse one. Do you have anything you want to leave off with?
If you have an addictive personality, don't play more than one account.
Fair. That's fair. 100%. I would probably make the opposite argument, because if you have an addictive personality and you're enticed to spend, I would say log off the main account because everything has been done, and create an alt so you don't.
Yeah,
have
but
to
if you're
use
already
more time.
spending on one, that they've
That's-
got you halfway hooked to get you spending on all.
That's true.
So.
That's true. But yes, 100%. All right, Ken, where can people come and find you?
Final Kempachi, both YouTube and the Twitch. We are going live every single day, guys. 1 hour after Columbus Reset. Thank you.
Awesome. PJ, where can people come and find you?
MXPJE on Twitch and YouTube stream, usually twice a day, every weekday. Also, one quick thing, find other ways to get dopamine. If you guys are trying to chase the dopamine, there's other ways to get it. I was playing another game called TCG Card Shop Sim, which is nothing like this, but you rip packs in there, and it's very much like this, where you pull in charge, you get a good pack. You're like, oh my god, I got this ghost card, I got this, and it's free. I think it's free, or it's maybe like $5 or something, $10, but way cheaper than this. So there's other ways to get dopamine than just raid as well.
Hey, sometimes, you know what? It's not a bad thing. I got an Xbox, and I tell my kids, like, they'll want to blow money on like Roblox, and I'm like, nope, you get nothing. You've already gone through your funding. Go play a different game. Go play Xbox, and you know it works. It works. The Curse, where can people come and find you?
You can find me on Twitch TV /The Cursed One. I stream Thursday through Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Fridays are kind of random timing.
Okay. Guesso, where can people come and find you?
Yeah, Gestel Gaming on Twitches and on the YouTubes. I stream Sunday through Friday, 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Awesome. Zero, where can people come and find you?
Yep, it's at Zero Brew on the Twitches and the YouTubes. We stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday night is typically what we do. And if we just adjust, we make adjustments. And then it's all one name. So I'm going to tell Blazin to take the space out of the zero and the brew in my name here. All one name. But come hang out. We have a great time.
Awesome. Ken, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I'm going to shout out the Miss Hillary. She's been with us actually for quite a long time. I know her like very long time. I heard she's also back to the raid. She told me that on the last stream. So, you know, she's also waiting for the Godforge. Make sure to follow her, guys, on the Twitch. Link on the chat. Thank you.
Awesome. PJ, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
We are giving a shout out to Metaverse Truck. He's an awesome dude playing the Racer Legend as well, doing account help, count takeovers, loving the Chimera. Yeah, awesome dude. He's funny. Go check him out from a follow if you're not already.
Awesome. Zero, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
2 shout outs. One is my wife, because she has been working on the house and cooking right now, and the house smells amazing. We're doing a Friendsgiving. But you know what? The podcast came first. So Friendsgiving starts an hour from now, where people in the neighborhood are going to come in and do like a pre-Thanksgiving thing. So podcast first, and she's allowing me to do the podcast. So shout out to the wife for letting me do that. And then we're just going to do it to Bronco. He was in earlier as well. And again, I have been thoroughly entertained with his AI roast videos, and I know he took some grief for Maria getting nerfed in the game, and I think, you know, what better way than to redirect it back to Polarian with the AI videos. So if you have not checked that out, go click that link, give him some love.
Awesome. The Curse, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I'm going to shout out I Am the Envy. He's a smaller streamer, kind of new to raid still and new to streaming as well. But he plays a small spend account, and then on top of it, he has multiple free-to-play accounts, including one that's only pulled strictly mystery shards. He's playing the game, not using any of the big shit. So
that's cool.
I'm going to give him a shout-out. Check him out. Show him some love. Give him a follow. Do all the good shit.
Awesome. Guess what you got for a shout-out for me, bro?
I'm gonna shout out the man Pogo Pink Tie. Gets a lot of love here all the time. He deserves it though. Go give my man Pogo Pink Tie a follow. Pogo_Pink Tie.
Awesome. And I'm going to give a shout out to Sam Solstice. I saw her early on in chat. I don't know if she's still here, but big shout out to her holding up the RSL leaderboards. I meant to shout her out earlier when I saw her name, but we just got way too into the conversation. Now I didn't know when to get the right break. So yeah, guys, thank you all so much for joining us this Sunday afternoon. Again, the one thing out there, try to play within your means, try to budget yourself. If you need help, get help. Don't be scared to ask. It is tremendously hard to ask for help.
Yeah,
But
and don't be
that's-
ashamed. Don't
Yeah.
be ashamed too. Like I
it
think
is-
that needs to be also mentioned. Sorry.
yeah, it is tremendously hard. It is tremendously difficult to get help, but get help, because if you don't, it will end very, very bad for you. That said, we're going to head off today. We are going to raid out to Mr. Metaverse Truck. When we get over there, make sure you guys wish him a happy birthday. Show him some love. If you're not already following him, give him some love and follow him over on Twitch. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us for these wonderful 2 hours. We will see you all again next week. As always, much love, much appreciation.
Love
Be
y'all.
safe, be well, be good to each other. We'll catch you.